Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 110 Tonight. Tonight's special guest is Mark Zuckerberg. Mr. Zuckerberg is most well known for founding the hit social network site Facebook with his roommates in college. He was so dedicated to the project that he dropped out of the esteemed Harvard University to pursue it. 14 years later, Facebook employs over 30,000 employees, owns multiple companies, including Instagram and WhatsApp, and has a revenue of over $40 billion US, making Zuckerberg one of the most powerful, influential, and affluent people in the information age. Mr. Zuckerberg, would you like to tell us a bit about yourself?
Yeah, well, first, call me Mark. And I'm married, I have 2 kids, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Facebook.
Well said, Mark. Now, on February 4th, 2004, you created this powerful website. What did you think about how the movie The Social Network depicted that?
Yeah, I think that was more or less how it happened, I'd say. I really do believe that you can make something incredible in just one night. That's something I always say. And really, the backbone of Facebook was made in just that one night.
That's a fascinating school of thought. How do you incorporate that into your life and your company culture?
The best examples I can think of is the hackathons that we are hosting. Nowadays, plenty of people all over the world also host hackathons for prizes, but we do it for the fun of them and for the internships.
Now let's talk about the other people in this story. First, let's talk about Erica, your ex-girlfriend. At the beginning of the movie, we see you guys in a rather hostile conversation where you end up breaking up, and it shows that your journey through creating Facebook was really out of spite for this girl that broke your heart. How much of that is true?
Yeah, I definitely did not have a relationship like that. I actually met my wife, Priscilla Chan, pretty early on, right after Facebook launched. So I wasn't heartbroken over a girl the way the movie depicts. I also wasn't big on those finals clubs they mentioned. I think it's so important to have transparency because it opens channels of communication and facilitates conversations across borders. And that's something you don't get in a secret society.
They also portrayed you as being cold and heartless, which I notice you aren't.
Well, I hope so.
Another character we see you having a rough relationship with is your friend Eduardo Saverin. It seems he financed many of the early days of the Facebook, as it was called at the time, but received little to no credit for his contributions, leading to the lawsuit he filed against you. Could you tell us how much of this is true?
Yeah, well, it's never easy to be sued by your best friend, but I wasn't as cutthroat as the movie made it seem. Eduardo chose not to move out to Palo Alto with us when we were taking that step, so it didn't make sense to keep him on the team in the same capacity. It's true that he got upset about that and froze the account, but it wasn't all of his own money funding our company at that point, because we had other investors.
That can't have been an easy decision to make, but by the looks of where you all are now, it seems everyone's doing pretty well for themselves. Is there anything else you want to mention about the film? Any parts that touched your heart or made you smile?
I really enjoyed the attention to detail. Like with our house in Palo Alto actually had the zip line into the pool. And I did actually go to an investor pitch in my pajamas. And it was really fun again to see the nickname Winklevi back. And it's a great experience to see all these things on the big screen.
Well, that's great to hear. Now, let's transition to something more recent. Tell me about the events with Cambridge Analytica.
Well, it all started in 2013 when a researcher named Alexander Kogan created a personality quiz that had the ability to obtain the user's Facebook information. He then went on to share this information with Cambridge Analytica, which I didn't find out about until maybe 2 years later. And once I found out about this, we asked them to remove all their data, but obviously they did not.
So to clarify, there was a data breach and thousands of people's online profiles and other data were leaked without their consent?
This is true, unfortunately.
From different polls, we've noticed that a sizable number of people are now very concerned about the safety of online personal data. 76% of people are very concerned about the safety of their personal online data, and 62% are wary of Facebook's impact. What do you have to say about this?
All I can say is that I am truly sorry for what happened. It was my own mistake for letting Facebook be used for harm. I started Facebook and I'm responsible for what happens here.
It's great to see the heads of large companies holding themselves accountable. We can only hope that too many people weren't affected and that Facebook can recover the damages. Now, with Cambridge Analytica's involvement in the political campaigns of politicians such as Ted Cruz and Donald Trump, and involvement with the Brexit vote, did you ever envision that Facebook would be this powerful?
Honestly, I did not. When I started Facebook, I was just trying to help college kids connect with each other. It was never my intention to have this become a company.
Mm-hmm. Where do you see Facebook going in the future?
The way I see it right now, it's going to take us several years to dig out the hole that we are currently in. But once we do that, I think that Facebook could help humanity take its next step by becoming the social infrastructure for a truly global community.
Thank you, Mark. And that wraps up 110 tonight. Good night.